And right now we have Chris Campbell's Crestwood Auto Brokers Sports Report. But before that, he's going to tell us a little bit about the work that he does for the community of Long Beach. Chris, come on up.
Thank you very much, Steve. Well, as I've mentioned before, what we do basically is we provide a service for people to save them time and money. Very, very critical in this time, especially after the hurricane. We save you the trip of having to replace your vehicles by searching with cooperating dealers to save you the most money possible. We bring the cars directly to your door, whether that be home, work, office, wherever you might be staying. And like I said, save you a lot of time and a lot of effort. We also provide expert guidance in the way to go as far as purchasing or leasing your next vehicle. Some of you may have had your vehicles totaled in a storm. You might have gotten insurance money from those totaled vehicles, but obviously a car, while it is an important thing to replace, is not the #1 thing you have to replace. So we go over pretty much exactly where you are financially to help you get back on your feet and again, save you the most money possible. But now on to our sports report. In football, congratulations to the San Francisco 49ers on their come-from-behind victory over the Falcons today, 28-24. The Baltimore-New England game right now is just about to go into the half, with New England recently retaking the lead, 10-7. On to the locals. The Jets made a little bit of noise this week by hiring John Idzik as their new GM. Marty Morningwig is going to be the new offensive coordinator, which should signal no Michael Vick for the Jets, as he and Morningwig don't exactly get along. They're not best buddies. And in a quieter move, they hired David Lee to be their new quarterbacks coach, replacing Matt Cavanaugh, who was let go in the last couple of weeks. The Giants continue to be quiet as the offseason rolls on. They'll probably make a few of their moves as soon as the playoffs end in the next few weeks. In a nice twist, hockey is back. Unfortunately for you Ranger fans, they took on the Boston Bruins in Boston last night and dropped a 3-1 decision. And on the island at the Coliseum, the Devils and Islanders squared off, with the Islanders losing a close game 2-1. In boxing, as we were mentioning before at the Garden last night, Long Beach native Sean Monahan won a unanimous decision over Roger Cantrell at the Garden. Let's give it up for Long Beach native Sean Monahan.
Yeah. Patrick, did you watch the fight, or what are your thoughts about Sean's fight yesterday?
Yes, I did see the fight, and he had a very stunning performance. He fought a guy who had outweighed him.
Was much bigger, right?
Much bigger.
Yeah.
He fought someone with the height advantage, and he just had to really dig deep and use his toughness and his skill to get through it.
Well, it's good that he won a unanimous decision there. So obviously, it was a very hard fought. From all accounts, the fight was really brutal.
Very brutal. I mean, he was bleeding out of his left eye, his right eye was swollen, and you know, Sean has sensitive skin, and the cut didn't seem to heal up throughout the middle of the fight. So that was like throughout the whole fight he had to deal with it.
Now, Patrick, you're scheduled actually for your bout on the 23rd, right?
Yes.
Which is this coming week?
Wednesday.
Where is that going to be again?
It's going to be at BB King's in Times Square.
And who are we taking on?
We're taking on Zachariah Kelly, who's 1-1 for Oklahoma.
It's going to be a tough day for the Oklahoma.
I have to agree, yes.
Send that corn-fed mule to the canvas, will you?
Yes, sir.
Moving on to baseball. The baseball world was very sad to say goodbye to two of its prominent Hall of Famers, as Stan Musial and Earl Weaver passed away yesterday. Weaver, who was the famous Baltimore Orioles manager, was 82, while Stan Musial, recognized as one of the greatest hitters of his time, next to Ted Williams, was 92. For the Yankees, locals, Yankees reached agreement on one-year deals with 3 players, Jabba Chamberlain, Boone Logan, and Phil Hughes this week, and Derek Jeter has been cleared to resume baseball activities after his ankle surgery. We're hoping for a quick recovery so that he's ready to go for spring training and obviously the opening of the season. For the Mets, it was a bit of a quiet week, but they did reach an agreement, a one-year agreement with first baseman Ike Davis. We're looking forward to see what they have to come in the coming season. And last but not least, we have Lance Armstrong and Manti Te'o, which I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because enough time has been spent already. You know, it's a shame that some people have to do this for attention. The Manti Te'o thing, I don't really know what to make of it. It's a very bizarre story. Lance Armstrong, it's just an even bigger shame as far as the whole steroid thing, really tarnishing a very accomplished career. But back to football, I wanted to take a poll amongst everybody. As far as, you know, we know that the San Francisco 49ers are in the Super Bowl, but let's say for the Baltimore-New England game, should Baltimore get into the Super Bowl, who are we going to take? Steve?
I think I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think Ravens. If Baltimore gets in there, I think the Ravens are going to go all the way.
As for myself, if the Patriots win, I'm definitely going with the 49ers. If the Patriots lose, hopefully they do, because I'm a Jet fan and the Patriots are our rivals, I'm going to definitely root for the 49ers. So that's my take.
Well, I'll tell you on my end, after seeing the 49ers game today, I don't think it really matters who wins in the Baltimore-New England game. I think the 49ers are going to be the Super Bowl champions in the next couple of weeks. Well, that's it for our sports report. I hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you, Chris, for another great sportscast there. Mr. Jennings, come on up. Mr. Jennings is an accomplished professional. He's going to tell us about his agency and the work that he does over the course of his lifespan here.
Well, the course of my lifespan is a very, very extended program, but let me just cut down to a program that I took on similar to Joe. Remember Joe, who created a foundation to support the memory of his wife. I lost my wife a little while ago to breast cancer, just the way he did. And what I did instead was I created an organization called Caring for the Caregiver. Most people don't know what a caregiver is, but if you're a caregiver and listening to me, you do. A caregiver is someone who is magnificent at taking care of someone else and almost unconscious about taking care of themselves. And we discovered that this was an extraordinary phenomenon, that there were an awful lot when there were sick people, the caregivers that were looking after them were totally absorbed in what they were doing and that they needed caring for. And we created an organization which helps people who have been in support of others. Right now we have seven groups of people, or seven caring circles where caregivers can go to find and get recourse and talk to people who really understand. When you're in a circle with caregivers, they're the only people in the world who understands what caregiving is all about. It's a pretty exciting business. I'd just like to give myself a quick plug, or my organization a quick plug. We're on the website at caringforthecaregiver.org. And if you happen to be a caregiver yourself, and you're looking for a little help, I'd like to give you my phone number, 516-944-6454. I've helped an awful lot of caregivers, and I'd be happy to help you. Thank you.
Let me ask you a few questions here. Okay, why is it so special to become a caregiver at this time?
Special to become a caregiver. It isn't special to become a caregiver. You're minding your own business and somebody in your family gets sick, okay? And you step up and you do it. And you don't think about it. And later on you think about it.
So what are some of the other concerns that people have when they do caregiving or things that take on in life?
The biggest concern a caregiver has is what's going on for their care receiver. And the biggest problem is that the caregiver doesn't pay any attention to his or her own concern. And that's why we've created an organization to support them.
And what is the future work that you have? What do you think the future is for this?
Well, actually, I think it's extraordinary. Because caregivers are ignored. When somebody is sick, they get all the attention. Caregivers are ignored. And what's happened at this point is we We have 7 places on Long Island where caregivers can go right now. At the end of this year, we can have another 5. And we've also created a consortium, the Long Island Family Caregiving Consortium, of a lot of large companies. And we expect, with any kind of luck, to have some donations to help us do this work more strongly, because all of it so far is not-for-profit and no pay.
Thank you very much, sir. The work that you do is very, very important. I hope everybody out there really gets that message. Thank you, Mr. Jennings. Thank you. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. A few major quotes that he came up with over the years that really kind of ring true for all of us. One was written in 1963, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." So that's very important for all of us to follow that lead. "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." That's another speech he made in St. Louis, March 22nd, 1964. Also, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. The true neighbor will risk his position, his prestige, and even his life for the welfare of others." These are 3 important quotes that Dr. Martin Luther King came up with, and that's why we're here today. So I want to thank James Hodge, and I want to turn it over to Benoit and Rocco for your final thoughts.
As far as my final thoughts regarding Martin Luther King is an extremely important figure. I think we tend to forget that just of how much Martin Luther King wanted to help, not just the African American community, but all of us in order, to seek out justice against oppression in society. And he really believed in the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi and about, really, achieving, civil rights through nonviolent means. And I feel like he is just an important figure, and he continues to be an important figure to this day.
Absolutely, I respect him and his memory and everything he's done, and he's left a great legacy for us all. So we hope you enjoy Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. Thanks for listening to this program, and best of luck to Patrick all day on Wednesday at BB King's. Go in there, and we'd like to leave you with this. We subbed for halftime. We want to thank you for your time. Please join us for another edition of Halftime, but at this time, we're out of time. See you next Sunday!